helps against terrorist attacks and can track down enemies. But me and my group believe that phone tapping should end. It violates our rights and our liberties, and most government officials think it should be illegal. The government doesn't make the hacking world leaders, and it violates the Fourth Amendment, which there's no legal searches and seizures. The Fourth Amendment is part of the Bill of Rights. Our founding fathers believed it was needed to form a more perfect country. According to Dr. Kristen, it violates our liberties, and she believes the NSA should be unlimited of what they can do and what they know. The government is responsible for protecting our liberties and our security. According to the Fourth Amendment, they can't look into our phones or check anything without us knowing. Phone tapping thus violates our privacy and rights. There is no proof that phone tapping our own citizens helps protect us from terrorist attacks. So we, as a country, must stand behind our principles for which our country was founded on and not sacrifice liberty for security. Phone tapping has not led to a more secure country. Our system has been in existence for 220 years, and it seems to be working pretty well. So why are we going to start changing it now? We need to honor that system, and our government needs to obey the rules too. According to an article in 2006, the NSA has been phone tapping citizens' conversations without warrants. Congress volunteered to modify the NSA, but George W. Bush rejected this, declaring since he is the commander-in-chief, he has the right to do anything he wants to protect his country. Is this what we really want from our president? This sounds a lot like King George and Saddam Hussein. King George apparently attacked the colonists to protect his country. Saddam Hussein used chemical weapons on his own people to protect his country. Do we want a country whose president abuses his power? No. That is why we have checks and balances. Founding fathers knew the dangers of a too powerful president. Thus, checks and balances are born. Three branches that check on each other. Presidents who don't have judges issue warrants are abusing this belief. Phone tapping without warrants must end to stay true to our democracy. If we allow phone tapping, what is next? Where will it stop? That is why me and my group believe phone tapping should end.
The other team has mentioned the Iraqi dictator. That man killed hundreds of his own people with sarin gas. He did not phone tap them. Yeah, he might not have. But no one was being injured. But what they're trying to do is protect. Just because you build a fort doesn't mean you're expected to be attacked. But if you are ever attacked, you can protect yourself, defend yourself. And it's not just American citizens. Yes, it can be American citizens, but the NSA looks for certain things. Some NSA red words are things like dirty bomb, Iraq, Al-Qaeda, uranium, stuff like that, AK-47. Those words put you on a list that gets sent to the NSA. It's called the watch list. Yes, it's there, but that doesn't mean you're being monitored very heavily. And they may say that, yes, we can track you, we can listen to you outside of your own house, track you with GPS, but that costs billions, probably billions and billions of dollars. Taxpayer money going to waste. It's not billions, millions still. U-2 satellites, satellite planes, or spy planes, probably in the engine fuel cost, probably upwards of $1,000 a gallon. So every time they're watching you and looking at you, it's $1,000 a minute, probably. The security agency, when the National Security Agency was created, only a few people in Congress even knew about it. Harry S. Truman signed the top secret paper, and only a few people knew about it. 1952. If Harry S. Truman knew about this, and when you would probably become what it is today, do you think he would probably still do it to make sure, especially if he knew what the cost could be? Let's not forget 9/11. After 9/11, they found hundreds of thousands, hundreds, only hundreds, of emails about the attack. What if that could have been stopped? What if it could? There'd be 5,000 Americans still living here today with their children and their wives, their family members, their cousins, their friends. 2011, there was the National Guardsmen had an IED hit their Humvee. No one was killed, but what if that could have been stopped? What if that man could still not have hard breathing when he's been walking or running? A titanium plate stick is in his head today. What if that could have been stopped? And let's say this final quote from Kurt Cobain. Actually, really think about it. A friend is nothing but a known enemy.
Phone tapping is a good thing because it can help track down terrorists and terrorist attacks. My opponents have said that phone tapping leads to trust issues, and the government should not be able to listen in on people's phone conversations. My teammates and I have said that phone tapping can help track down terrorist attacks and prevent them, help track down enemies to know where they are and what they are doing. But Congress is not letting the NSA, the National Security Agency, abuse their power, which means Congress is not letting NSA overuse phone tapping. Lastly, after a decade of terrorist attacks, Pakistan is implementing a new legal framework to deal with its growing military threat, what some are calling a local version of the USA Patriot Act. The government says the measure will improve an anti-terrorism effort plagued by inefficiency and abuses. Based on my research, phone tapping gives you results since 9/11. Based on my experience, we get hundreds of emails and can find out information about attacks and when they will happen. According to CER's database, when terrorism suspects go before a judge, however, they often free disobeying Western officials. Our reasoning is that you may not like phone tapping, but it does give you evidence for another time. It could save your life, friends and family's life, and your town or city from destruction. Spying has been around for a long time, so why does it matter if they do it on your phone? They are trying to keep you safe. Would you rather live and be phone tapped or dead and not have phone tapping to protect you? So in conclusion, don't you think it's better to be phone tapped and be safe and alive rather than putting your life in danger and possibly losing your life without it? I think so.
My opponent may say that phone tapping is a useful way to spend money, but I disagree. According to a researcher named Robert Hansen, the government spends $60 million on wiretaps annually. My opponent team says that it costs billions of dollars for my tracking device. The $60 million annually for phone tapping is okay. We could be spending that money on so many different things that are guaranteed positivity for us and our country, such as weapons and supplies for our military that is sure to be effective and useful. We could be using the money to provide jobs. There are over 76,445 individuals in the United States that does not have a job. If we're the land of the free, we should let the money go to things that we should let the money go that's being spent on spying on citizens and let them have the freedom that they deserve. We could be using the money to donate to charities and provide for the ill. On average, for a patient with cancer, it costs them at least $7,500 for only a 4-day stay, and a lot of our patients can't even afford it. In 2008, there are around 1,437,000 new cases of cancer diagnosed. And even worse, on average, 1,500 people pass away from cancer every day. The reason so many poor people are being struck with this horrible condition, with toxicity in the environment, in our drinks, food, air, and many other things, cancer and other illnesses have been on the rise for decades. Until we can drastically change the way our government spends our money, cancer is just one of the horrible things that will continue to go on without improvement. Therefore, if our government is lucky enough to have all of this money, but they choose it to spend on technology that doesn't even work and has never been proven to be effective, we can instead spend it on things that can change the world, such as a cure for cancer. The government just cannot spend their money wisely, and they certainly can't waste their money on phone tapping.
Okay, I believe that is the end to our second debate. So let's give them a round of applause.